Lauren and I concoct an issue like this each year. I think this is my favorite so far, though, because it is the first image published of the land that my husband and I bought in Italy literally 3 years ago. So that's weird and cool. But the entire issue is almost 100% Italian. So listen, what are your favorite things in this issue? And was it one of your favorites too? It's certainly one of mine.
Definitely one of my favorite issues we've ever made in our years of doing this together. And I think it's brilliant cover to cover, not to toot our horns too much, but I love it, the whole thing. But some of the stories, I mean, the recipes are amazing. There are recipes that people probably haven't ever heard of, dishes that they've never heard of, and dishes that they're very familiar with, just sort of done in a new way. It's packed. But I love the feed it forward. I love the pizzaiola who came from Rome. There's a story about a kid who came from Rome, and he was supposed to sign a lease on a pizza joint in New York City. And then the pandemic arrived. And he remembered that his grandma used to tell him that she would barter after World War II. She'd make extra bread and barter it with the neighbors. So whoever needed bread, and she'd barter for tomatoes because she needed tomatoes. And it was just this beautiful thing. And he put that into action with his pizza. He wanted to keep rolling dough and practicing. So he kept making pizza, and he would trade it with people in his neighborhood for whatever they had. And it became this whole thing. Like, it was an Instagram sensation. It became a whole thing. And I just love that. I just thought it was so wonderful and heartwarming.
And that is, I love the continuity between what we try and do for content on the show, how we literally live our personal lives, and what we try and do within season. We really are a family and a community, and we really try and highlight and feature stories like that, and it's very important to me.
Yeah, I love to highlight stories like that too. I love the connection that we make between like food and community. To me, that's such a big deal. You're always saying, like, you break bread together, and that's how you form community, right?
And I love our connection with generations. The dress like a Nona.
Oh yeah.
And we've actually featured one of those Nonas on the daytime show as well. Delightful. But I just love the love in that story. Dress like a Nona makes my face hurt. I smile so hard.
And the point that you make throughout this issue is, you don't have to go to Italy. You don't have to buy a house in Italy you don't have to go anywhere to experience the culture there. Like, when you cook the food and you mix a drink and you kind of make it a little special on a Thursday night, like you take a trip there. And I think that's a wonderful message. I think people can travel the world through food, and that's what we're trying to do in Rachael Ray In Season magazine, every issue.
And that's what I loved about all those stories. And the reason I wanted to be in Italy and a part of that, because I knew how poor my grandpa was. He was one of 14 kids. My mom was the firstborn of 10. And to hear them talk about their lives, they were very rich. And I know that they were very poor in point of fact. Their life was rich, and the stories are rich because they had each other, and they sang, and they played music, and they looked at the stars and told stories and cooked together and shared the good and the bad days in life, and try to find the strength and the sense of humor to go on to the next day with a little more positive energy than the day before. And that has always been my goal with this magazine, and I know that is your goal as well.
Right. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be rich to live a rich life.